I held my mother's finger, as we all do if we can. Such a small thing to hold on to, but I held it tight. I looked into her eyes, green-blue as a planet.
I thought that my life would just be a life. I didn't know that I would be the one to see the end of the world.
Did you? High summer has passed, and the fall's coming on. No one has come to answer my song, but I'll sing it every night, and I hope you will hear. Come to me, my dear. And I saw it before it happened.
I built my life around studying the songs of tree frogs. I saw how their songs shifted with the weather. Were they warning each other? Or simply singing so the others knew what was happening to them? Ankle-deep salt water, stabbing scent of cypress, so many gone.
And then I felt our own songs shift with the weather. Everything must change. I know that in my bones. I was born of water, and I crawled onto the stone. Everything is getting so much harder. There's nowhere to call home. And all my friends with silent hearts have left me all alone.
Off the coast of Florida, I spent most of last year on this island, writing and rewriting my paper on their disappearance and their songs.
Knee-deep in swamp, and this place destroyed and rebuilt with tides and the weather.
Every so often, the habitat of the tree frogs and most of their population were just swept away. Then the water would recede, and the frogs would come back because they knew how to end and begin. And the cypress would be filled with their songs.
And the cypress would be filled with their songs again.
One of these days, the water won't leave, and I don't know how they'll come back. And maybe all we'll have left is this song.
Sometimes I wish I could stop breathing, but it seeps in through my skin. And so I sing my song for you until time will take me home again. I saw the end of the world before it happened. I saw the end of ours before I'd ever had a healthy love, or truly made love, or got a mortgage, or really understood what a mortgage was, or tried ghost pepper, or lost faith in the Lord, or read Audre Lorde. Before I'd ever even lost anyone close to me, I lost this world.
Last night, after the storm tide receded, I heard only one frog's mating call. Just one tiny voice in the hollow night, where there were once thousands.
sunshine.
You look like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, I'm the Fen Reaper, baby, and honey, you are dead. You just stayed there collecting specimens, speaking in your little tape report about a whole island was underwater.
So, are you dead?
But I do get that all the time. I am Hildegard von Bingen, but down here, I am Hildegard von Bingen! Visionary non-Arabs of the 12th fucking century who called all this shit.
What shit?
Rich religious people running the world. I mean, I said I saw a lady with fiery eyes with a great mass of excrement adhered to her head. But, you know, it was poetry. Or maybe it was Lady Gaga at the Met Gala. I am still not quite sure.
You're a nun?
Like none other. Yes. A nun in life, in death, I changed up my brand a bit.
Where are we?
The end of the roadhouse, where they send 10 prophets when they die. It's just a whole menagerie of people nobody listened to. It is the biggest little show of I Told You So. Meet the girls. Joan of Arc, Octavia Butler, Li Jingzhao. She is better than Shakespeare. Her poetry came true, but she's a bit Tang Dynasty emo for me. Oh, and then there's Sybil. Holy fuck, there's a lot of them. Are they breeding? Oh, this is our stage manager. Not necessarily a prophet, but she knows all the shit that will go wrong. I forget her name. She's just like some chick with a banjo. That guy we picked up when Journey cast him out for not rocking hard enough, which I empathize with because basically that's what the Pope did to me.
So, where do the men nobody listened to usually go?
That's not a thing.
That's not a place.
A man can say, inject yourself with bleach to cure this life-threatening disease, and people do it.
Yeah. A man can say he is going to invent a religion and have it be Xenu the space alien owns you, and all the past lives living inside you, and you are his slave, and all the rich, famous, and powerful sign up and give him all their money.
Or how about you think you own whatever land you piss on? The earth is just a dead thing to extract until there's nothing left but a star frozen and robots fucking until the end of the universe and all this is gone anyway and who the fuck cares about it? It's blah!
Anyway, we are very glad to be auditioning you tonight. No. I think it's going to be great. You look like a kindergarten teacher. Every man has a toddler in his pants.
I'm sorry. Are you a 12th century nun quoting Coyote Ugly?
Tell me, dear, where does a 12th century nun end and Coyote Ugly begin?
So, what's your name?
Cassandra?
I have never understood people who just think it is a jolly good idea to name their kid after some mythological person with a terrible fucking life. Cassandra, who had the gift of foresight, but no one would believe her because of a little uterus and tits. So she gets killed by the wife of the man who took her as a sex slave after burning her city down. All shit she called, by the way. I mean, if I ever had a newborn baby, I would not be like, oh, let's name her after this mythical cunt with the worst life ever, little baby Oedipus. Eddie for short, or Piss. Yeah, but Cassandra, let's name our kid after someone no one believed.
I mean, every woman was named after someone who wasn't believed.
Are you trying to mindfuck me? Yeah, I'm Hildegard von Bingen and nobody fucking mindfucks me. I run this joint and I fuck all the minds around here. Oh, hey, I actually had a cure for a fucked mind.
If someone is vexed by insanity, takes whole grains of wheat and cooks them in water and places them around his whole head, tying a cloth over them.
Yes, but there are many other parts of us that can get fucked. Here's my skincare routine.
And one whose face has been made rough and harsh, made harsh from the wind, should cook barley in water, and having strained that water with the cloth, the skin will become soft and smooth and have a beautiful color.
Wheat and barley. Is your cure for everything just gluten?
Yes! Gluten! A truly remarkable and celebrated substance throughout all time.
You might not actually be right about it.
You know, I've actually got some other really good sayings like,
This world is all meaning, spirit, all permanent greening, all creativity. This world offers itself to every creature.
Oh, I like that.
yeah, I thought you would. I got some other good ones you want to hear.
Sure.
Listen up. All right, welcome everybody.
It's nice to have you here.
Oh, I know the road. We're gonna start this night with a little song. You enjoy it. Since I was a child, I was cursed with the gift of sound. I see the angels come down and wash in the flame distortions of earth, crying out in a world lost in change. I confide in my teachers all what I've seen. I live God through all my senses, and I live holy with my whole being. I cry out all my visions cannot suffice. I tell my scribe it's the word of God and say cry out and write the voice. What were you doing out on that island? What were you running from? What were you afraid of?
We have to stay home. On the news, they said that we could die from,
Other people's breath.
or just standing near someone could stop. So, I turned to the one person you're supposed to turn to. Baby
Other people's breath. Other people's breath.
can be intoxicating.
Other people's
I
breath.
drank his up while he slept next to me. They said,
Stay safe.
Stay home.
stay away from
Other people's breath.
No one told you what to do if home was not safe too. Our apartment became a Trojan horse. No one could see what was happening inside, the anger that could at any moment break out.
You have to stop picking fights with him. You can't handle that right now.
He was hurting, and it felt like I was in a burning city surrounded by walls, and every way I turned to get out, there was fire made by all I wanted to know was that what was happening to me mattered too.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
So, there was funding to study a species you knew would go extinct soon. I don't really remember that time. I remember being scared. I remember I loved him. I was worried about what would happen to him.
I am so sorry. That sounds so hard.
There was nowhere to go. People were too afraid to let you in. Sometimes after his explosions, the only thing I wanted was for someone to hold me and tell me that I deserved to be safe too.
Every time I try to be who you want me to be, shit just gets harder and worse. I can't act anymore. I hate everything about this fucking world.
If I can't save him, maybe I can save those red-eyed tree frogs.
You just need better boundaries.
No one believed what was happening to me.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
And no one could see what was happening to them, to the
tiniest little lives out there in the cypress swamps. So I left. For a drowning island to prove that what was happening to them mattered as much as...
Well, were they alright?
You were burned alive? Is that why you're looking so hot tonight, John?
would surely pay to set me free. She's a witch. My captors pitied me, and I was sold to England and charged for crimes of heresy. That trial was a sham, but a judge trial spoke the truth, unimpeached, and all they ever got me on was dressing like a man. 10,000 people in the square. How they clever just to stand. Such dire consequences. Oh, what a square. A righteous martyr smoldering in the air.
So, this is death. A body nun, a roadhouse with a mildewed piano, and just a few more stars. What was all this for? When I was young, my mother would have dreams, just vague impressions. Someone with a swirl of gray curly hair blowing by us in the breeze, the sound of sand spilled against a ballroom, or red sand crumbling out of my hand. And they weren't stories, so when they would later happen, she would say,
I dreamed this.
yes, but what does it mean?
You got the whole world in your hands, babe.
Mama, what happened?
Hush up, I don't you cry. Go to sleep, my little baby. When you wake, you will have cake and all the pretty little horses.
She dreamt that I would fall in love with a man who smelled like Kool-Aid and fire. And I did. And it didn't save me.
You did this. You pushed away everyone with your neediness and then expect everyone to drop what they're doing to make you feel better.
I'm not a prophet. I don't know how life will end. And I don't know how life began. Except that somehow carbon molecules met heat. And that little microbe reached for another little microbe, and they exchanged information on how to survive. Or they banded together. Over and over, again and again, these tiny beings reached for each other out of an energetic longing to be more, to be a part of more than just themselves. Until there were living things as big as a Spinosaurus or as small as me. As big as a grove of aspens or as small as a virus. I don't know how life will end, but I saw my husband slam his fist into so many walls, and I still reached for him. Over and over, I reached for him as his mind unraveled. Is that how the earth feels about us? I'm not a prophet. I don't actually know anything for certain. Except maybe the longing that made life the way mold can grow on styrofoam and love can grow anywhere, then it's all just because the smallest, the tiniest of us longed to be more than just one cell. The man said, speak your mind, but I didn't know where to start. In this tangled web, pulling just one thread, I feared it all fall apart. So I feigned a smile and listened a while to the parting shots. He said, don't forget what this all meant, but I forgot. 'Cause the seasons come and the seasons go so easy, and we'll never know if the shadows will disappear. When you cut me out, there's no reason here. But when I cut you out, I can finally hear. We need each tree, its philosophy to be rooted in this tangled web, pulling just one thread. Our earth gets looted. Don't just feign a smile, we don't have a while for more parting shots. And don't forget what this all meant beyond the facade. 'Cause the seasons come and the seasons go with the tides of change. It will be more than our shadows that disappear. Don't cut the root, there's no reason to. Find yourself, your voice, we need to hear. We need to hear.
She's moving, but I'm not sure she's got the moves. Let's see her shake it.
I'm a scientist. I'm not a,
Not a hussy? Well, honey, you can be a scientist and a hussy. This is inspiration. You can be all the things.
I'm a boss bitch and a bottom.
I want love, but I don't want anyone in my house.
Journey, said me, on this journey.
thank you. I'm just not like you. I don't want to go up there and have everybody looking at me. It's only on paper that I like peered you.
Believe me, we are peering and reviewing.
You're not the only scientist here.
We've got more female scientists that weren't believed than any other genre of human.
Besides interns, we got a lot of super pissed interns.
And stage managers.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you hear something?
Watch it.
Oh, she doesn't know about Eunice.
Oh, yeah. Nobody knows about Eunice Newton-Foot. Amateur scientist and suffragette, not even when she was alive.
Who?
Her. Why is she so into those cylinders?
We keep her backstage because she's always trying to get books for women, chaining herself to the bar or to the garden.
I'm actually kind of into it.
Yeah, and every time she makes a scientific discovery, she makes these really loud, orgasmic noises. And we're just not that kind of joy. We're more subtle.
doing nothing about it. It doesn't make it feel so personal.
How can you be so calm? You knew before anyone, and they did nothing! Fucking nothing! Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I also thought that a woman shouldn't be the property of her husband, or she should have the right to vote, or, I don't know, have a say over her own body. And they took a big old shit on that for my entire life. I did like being alive, though. You know, the sunlight on your face, a good pastry, some dirty suffragette on suffragette. Oh, a good pen and ink set. Woo! I loved it.
But you knew. Why aren't you angry?
Well, I am, but for me, the climate apocalypse was just a possibility. For you, it's a reality. Oh, sorry. You're gonna have to go back and watch our whole world be lost.
I'm sorry, did you just say going to? Am I going back?
Hit it! How are we doing? I don't care. I was the one who knew it all along. The oceans would rise and be burned up by the sun. I was the one who thought it was strange. And with a little pressure, the temperature could change. So I grabbed a nail pump, ran some tests. Was it a breakthrough or just common sense? I'm sorry. Saw the future in the Mercury. Saw a fate I never lived to see. Good job. I saw the silvers in the sunlight, the carbon dioxide, the radiant possibilities of my outgoing breath. I hate to say I'm right, but you know I'm always right. We could have had it all. I was a woman in a sea of men, a lamb for slaughter in the lion's den. You know what I'm talking about? I was the woman of science and fact. They made sure you never knew that. Men of science, men of fear, men who speak up, but men who can't hear, men who last through history, men who took the credit from me. But now the seniors in the sunlight, and the carbon dioxide, the radiant possibilities of my outgoing breath. I hate to say I'm right, but you know I'm always right. Yeah, you could have had it all. I could have had the splinters in the sunlight, and the carbon dioxide, the radiant possibilities of my outgoing breath. I hate to say I'm right, but you know I'm always right. We could have had it all. Our outgoing breath. Outgoing breath. Suck it.
That was incredible. I'm sorry, can we just circle back to the whole I'm going back thing?
Ah, yes, we can. You are going back. If you don't learn to back that thing up. Hey, speaking of which, back that wing up. Where were you on that number?
It's Friday, and I don't play on Friday.
We're in the underworld, dear. There's no days of the week or months of the year or 5 o'clock somewhere. What day is it you're dead? What time is it you're dead? You're dead. Now get out there and knock them dead.
I'm on strike!
What for?
The sky is falling!
You're in the underworld. There's literally no sky. We're under the world. You think the earth is flat too? Oh, where do we pick this backwards chick up?
You know what? I may be little, and I may be just some shit to you, but I've learned that no one is too small to make a difference. So, listen up, and don't forget my name. My name is Chick Little, capital C, capital L.
Oh, that's funny.
global cloud height over the past 10 years has been shrinking dramatically. Now, we don't know exactly what this has to do with climate change or how the low-lying clouds are going to affect global weather patterns, but the sky is, in a way,
I fucking told you so! Avoiding climate breakdown will require cathedral thinking. We must lay the foundation while we may not know exactly how to build the ceiling or sky.
It is very good to see the young people out here giving us hope. It is. It's so cute.
Take your hope and shove it up your ass, Hildegard! You know, adults keep saying, we owe it to the young people to give them hope. But I don't want your hope. I don't want you to be hopeful. I want you to panic. I want you to feel the fear that I feel every day. And then I want you to act. I want you to act as you would in a crisis. I want you to act as you would if your house was on fire, because it is!
Hey, now that every last customer has peed their fucking pants, Sybil's hand them out some towels. Why don't you just get out there and sing a pretty song and do a little dance and make everyone stop being so fucking terrified?
The sky is falling.
That makes them feel better.
I came out of her body, and her body was changed just by my having been there. Her belly sagged like it couldn't forget the shape of me inside it, and she said the parts of her that were made for pleasure were made to feel the pain of my little head, striving for its first glimpse of the world. But my mama, my single mama, she got more play than anyone I know. Oh my God, men couldn't get enough of her, even though her hard life had left its mark. Maybe people desire a body with the story of that life imprinted on it. Her stretch marks were the rock layers, scientists call them strata, that we use to measure time. The strata tells us a story of what happened to the earth, the way her scars and seams told us some of what happened to her body. Her tattoo of my name over her heart, that once broken toe that slanted right like it was bowing to the smaller ones, or 3 cigarette burns on her hip like a fucked up constellation. You know, in geology there's this thin dark line in the rock layers called the KT boundary. They say it's where something devastating happened to the earth, maybe wiped out all the life there, including the animals. I don't know what my mom's KT boundary was, but I do know she had one. Maybe it was a line on her brain where she just stopped reaching out for help from financial distress or scary boyfriends kicking in our doors. She just stopped trying or hoping for life to get better. It wasn't something she talked about, it was something I felt. We had to read the runes, work out the warning for ourselves. Mama, why didn't you teach me to survive? So, I turned to science for the answers. You know, there are these footprints they found in South Africa, 117,000 years old. They were a woman's. She was walking in a rainstorm with a sand dune, and she may have painted herself in ochre because they found that bronze pigment in her steps. Where was she going in the rain, painted in gold? I mean, we get our 10,000 steps in a day, and we think it's nothing, because there's no footprints in a linoleum world, but this ancient woman got 3 golden steps that lasted just because she walked on the earth. That's all a fossil is. It's not the bones of the animal, it's the earth forever changed by the life it held. It's the earth remembering us. Oh God. I have a choice to survive. You know? What's the first thing that we do when we see wet cement when we're kids? We want to step in it, stick our hands in it, write our names. We want to shape this world. And it wants to shape us. And yeah, we have our carbon footprint in the sky, and that is our pain, and that is our power. Because if we can have shattered a world in a century or two, just think of how we can shape it. We change so much just with our little heads peering towards the light. It's just like home here. I mean, there's no roadhouse, but the cypress. Can you hear? Oh my God, you can hear them even here. That one was as horny as you told her. You know, tree frogs live on every continent and every kind of habitat. They've lived for millions of years. So really, no matter where I go, if I listen hard enough, they're with me.
Girl, you have got to get out more.
How could a species have survived for so long through ice ages and world wars and just the tumultuous movement of the tides, but they can't survive us?
Well, we're the worst.
Oh. Gee, Miss Buck, hi. You don't see anything redeeming about people?
No, that's why I killed so
many in my stories. It was really therapeutic.
Right. But what, don't you think people can change?
All that you touch, you change, and all that you change changes you. The only lasting truth is change.
That's beautiful. Did you just come up with that?
Yeah, around the time you were born, it's sweet. It was in my book, Parable of the Sower. You're an empath, right? Haven't you read it? It's about a post-apocalyptic empath.
I tried. I was so violent. I couldn't.
Yeah, a book about empaths that empaths could never read. Nice one, Octavia.
Well, that character is the one who survived, so feeling things must make you tougher somehow. Not you, though.
So, what helps us to survive?
To survive, listen, just know the past, let it touch you, and then let the past go.
Holy shit, you should write that down.
I did. It's in the sequel where the empath Lauren, she goes to Portland, Oregon, and starts her own religion. Gets a bunch of rich people to follow it.
So like a REI co-op membership?
It's more like Mad Max meets Bell Hooks, and they're both really into heirloom seeds.
That actually sounds awesome. I really wish I could read it without my eyes burning.
A lot more is burning. Just take a look around.
I can't. I can't just watch it all go up in flames.
Well, in order to rise from the ashes, a phoenix must first burn.
Then we are burning for you, Octavia.
story. It's like watching Macaulay Culkin die in My Girl.
Oh my God, only time I've hated bees. Wait, how have you seen My Girl?
Oh, I did some R&D on what most traumatized millennials. It wasn't the Great Recession or being raised by boomers. It was My Girl and something called pound puppies. It's like big dogs that went back to jail at the end of every... Anyway. Macaulay is the only appropriate metaphor for watching the world burn.
Say I do go back, right? I find all of my materials in all my research in a waterproof container in a cypress branch. I present the data to them.
This isn't the sound of me not being happy, just thinking out loud of the things necessary. So run with it to the stolen horizon. Listen to our bones, what else can we do? Nurture the wind blowing all around all the time and return again to the dirt and the clouds.
Please address the cello fant in the room. You're hiding behind that thing, being all moody and boring when I know you are like Shakespeare, if Shakespeare actually experienced true love, had any life experience or original ideas. Yet, you're just sitting there, emo as fuck, like you just got to the mall and Hot Topic is closed. Did you just diss Shakespeare? Yes. Who disses Shakespeare?
Let me see. People who know other playwrights exist?
Oh, like who? Name one. Anyone. Name one other playwright. Anyone.
Anonymous.
That's me.
No, that's literally me.
It's all of you that had to stay safe by erasing your names from what you wrote. But me, they celebrate my name throughout China to this day. Doesn't matter. We all end up in the same place. Only 2 drink tickets for all of eternity. Still better than being alive.
Ixnay on the not alive nay. Remember, we're trying to get back there.
What do you want from me? I'm dead. My husband is dead. All of my books are gone. My country was invaded and destroyed. Forgive me if I think that that girl should stay the fuck away from that nightmare.
But your poems, they still exist. They've made people fall in love, they've helped people through grief, they've started revolutions.
10,000 songs of farewell failed to detain the loved one now gone far away. My poems couldn't save him.
But maybe they saved something.
Everyone is here but the one who matters.
But you matter and you're here.
Parting is all we know of heaven and all we need of hell. Did you ever get used to your husband being gone?
I lost him so slowly. Like the way there are fewer and fewer birds in the sky, or fewer and fewer days of winter. Just slipped through my fingers like the slowest sand.
One of our flaws is how we've survived. We adapt. We get used to what's gone. We get used to silence instead of birdsong. We get used to seasons of smoke instead of summer.
My husband was like that. I was a lobster in a pot, and I didn't know I was a I was used to boiling. And it wasn't until I was out that I was so fucking cold.
Well, let's hope it doesn't take that long for humanity.
Nothing takes as long as getting your asses out on the stage. Go on now, emo kid. Get your washboard confessional. But don't bum us out in excess.
Oh, God.
The cure for a broken heart is doing a death cab. RA for cuties.
Sometimes I wish I didn't have to listen to these motherfucking prophets.
You'll get used to a body but not your own. You'll get used to lonely but not alone. You'll get used to the screams but not the walls. You'll get used to the problems we never solve. It will take its toll. It will take its toll. Stay strong and tender. It will take its toll. In the New Deal, there is no skin to skin. In the New World, you are not coming in. You'll get used to empty streets and fields. You'll get used to the wound that can't be healed. It will take its toll. It will take its toll. Stay strong and tender. It will take its toll.
I know you hear musical and you kind of expect a big number that's going to end in a kiss. Well, we never give you a love story, do we? At least not in the traditional sense. I mean, the picture I've painted of my love would not make you love him. So, let me see. Apollo was an environmentalist. And like me, he loved the world and its animals, and he gave his whole being to save it. And somewhere along the line in that process, he unraveled with the world. These forces of destruction, they're contagious like a virus. They teach you that you are alone, and although you are made of matter, nothing matters. And when that virus takes hold, sometimes people just don't have enough to fight it off. I don't even know if I do. You know the mass strainings of pilot whales? Literally hundreds of whales will be found on the beaches. Scientists think it's sometimes only 1 or 2 individuals that have fallen ill, but these pods are so connected and they send out a call if they're dying. Something gets lost, though. It's like there's no I in their whale language, just we. So they call out we sick, and they all just hurl themselves onto the beach. So many die there where they were never meant to live. That's us. Except we don't know that we're connected. And whether we know it or not, we are hurling ourselves into a world that is uninhabitable. And now to go back and believe that I could make these little frogs matter to you, to believe that you could listen to some crazy scientist who drowned herself for data, then I guess this is a love story. Because I love the fucking world. And here in this strange sequined death, I have fallen in love with my own voice. And even though I have been so hurt and so absolutely fucking alone, I love people. With their greed and their TV addictions and their rustic wedding decor. Even white men doing slam poetry.
No!
We are sick, but now, anthropologists are saying the first sign of civilization is not a planted field of corn and beans or some sort of temple. It is the ancient human remains of a reset femur bone. It meant that this person couldn't walk or hunt or defend themselves. It meant that they were cared for. They couldn't contribute or be productive, but they were cared for long enough for their femur bone to heal. That's the first sign of human civilization. We're sick. Can we care for ourselves and each other long enough to heal?
Well, is it as long as this monologue?
The whole point is that we're supposed to listen to each other. I mean, especially those on the front lines, especially the indigenous stewards of this land, especially those that have been silenced and marginalized. You know what? You go back and use your zombie scientist power and make sure everybody gets a voice.
Yeah. Do you all ever wonder what would have happened if the world knew about your prophecies?
I mean, yeah, we literally wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I mean, the climate would be fine, frog girl and her frogs never would have croaked.
Those Jurchen invaders, more like Jurchen, and my husband in true love would still be alive, and the Tang dynasty would still be in power, so no cultural revolution or Tiananmen Square, just hanging out, living our best life.
And Alex, I don't want to be cocky, but my barnyard would not have been crushed by the sky.
What guy?
The sky.
Go specify what guy.
Oh my god!
This show would start on time if y'all listened to me.
There you go.
France would be part of Britain, so you'd have no help with your Revolutionary War. There'd be no United States, so you'd all be eating crumpets and singing Hail to the Queen.
Sorry, you called? Hit it, girls. I only wanted to whisper in your ear. Did I have your attention? I only wanted to tell you. Oh, my dear. I only wanted to say the end is near. I'm not doing this for my ego or my fragile self-esteem. I only wanted to show you what all these signs mean. I'm begging you, please. I'm on my knees. Give me some of that sweet existence, please.
Am I blowing your mind? Well, here's a thought that you can suck. The hottest squeeze since the birds and the bees is someone who gives a fuck. We're not asking for diamonds, and we're not digging for gold.
We just want our children to have the chance to grow old. If I say the sky is falling, you better pick it up. If I say the sea is rising, then go and get your cup. Put your money where your mouth is, put your body on the line. The end is near, the night is now. This is our time.
Now you can listen. Now you can hear the words we say. We're all gonna die if we don't even try. We need your stubborn ass if this world will last. Sorry, it's you, and all of you. Deal with it. Now you can listen. Down the words dripping from my lips. It's our only choice to give this world a voice. It's how it has to be. It's up to you and me.
I have a solution that will fix everything. Are you home?
I still don't know if anybody's gonna do anything to help them.
Is this about tree frogs and climate change, or is this about what happened to you? I don't know. It matters what happened to you.
So don't make me go back.
When you were a child, remember, what does your mama do? She sings.
Yeah, the most fucked up songs. Rockabye Baby. Why the fuck was the baby up in that tree? Ring around the rosy. We are rosy because we are dying of plague. Row your boat. Ain't no one should be rowing your boat high as fuck thinking life is but a dream. Don't trust them. Get out of that vessel.
Well, those songs are not soothing. They're a warning. Your mama is trying to warn you about all the ways that you can die, and, well, that is love, if you ask me.
A warning is a love song.
It asks you to think about the future.
And to think of the future is to imagine, which is again an act of love.
That's what the tree frogs do. Their songs are a warning. Get on high branches, the tide's coming in. Or don't lay your eggs there, the water's too saline. Or the water's receding, it's time to come back. Is it time to go back?
Oh, honey, there's no going back. You can only move forward.
How do I get there?
By asking just that.
How do I know when I'm there?
When you no longer have to ask the question.
It was impossible to leave after you.